This pub is not a real Irish pub, but it's the most authentic Irish pub that is not in Ireland. Enjoy music from Kinnfolk and Fire in the Glen. Learn when Coffee with the Celtfather returns and what the future holds for this fall. This is Pub Songs and Stories, show number 272.
To my morning sun.
Welcome to Pub Songs and Stories. I am Marc Gunn. I'm a rhythm and folk Celtic musician and podcaster living in Atlanta, Georgia. And this episode kicks off the official fall season of Pub Songs and Stories. I'm going to talk about what I have in store for the fall. I'm also going to share with you a live concert from the Maggie McGuinness Pub and the most Irish of Irish pubs that are not in Ireland. So the first band you heard was Kinnfolk, and they are a husband and wife duo out of Virginia. They hosted show number 609 of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, where they talked about Irish sessions they performed at during their recent honeymoon in Ireland. So that song is from their CD. Wait, I think you're a little bit rusty. I don't think all of you got that. So when I mention CDs, you have to say, "You have CDs?" That really makes this show special. So I'm counting on you. So that is from the Kinnfolk CD. You have CDs? Okay, we'll work on that. That's from their CD. Good. Kinnfolk. Now, if you're new to the show, please subscribe. You can do that at pubsong.com, or even better, you can subscribe and download all of my songs in the show. Just send me an email, pubsong@celtfather.net. pubsong@Celtfather.net. You'll get an autoresponder to download this month's songs. You'll also get that subscribe link. It's quick and easy. And while you're emailing me to get your free EP, this month it's going to be an album, let me know what you're doing while listening to this episode. Upcoming shows, August 19th, that's this Saturday. I'm doing a concert, a Fiddler's Green Coffee House concert series. It's presented by the Atlanta Area Friends of Folk Music. Tickets are $10. It's located here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I would really, really, really appreciate it if you come out and show your support. This is it's a folk concert, full-on concert. So there's going to be another band that's performing as well. That's an artist named Admiral Radio. So come check us both out. I'd love to see you out there. So please come out. August 26th is Pepper Place Farmers Market in Birmingham, Alabama. August 17th, I see I don't have these in order. That's when I'm going to be doing my next live streaming concert on Bandcamp. August 23rd, Coffee with the Celtfather returns. So if you don't know, Coffee with the Celtfather is my video show that I do every week. Once a month, it's public, but the rest of the time, it's available exclusively to my gun runners over on Patreon. And then, so come join me for that. That launches back on August 23rd, and then we'll see how it goes, because August, Labor Day weekend, August 31st through September 4th, is Dragon Con, and I'll be there with the Brobdingnagian Bards. Once again, I'm excited to go back there and share some music. I also have a whole bunch of album pins that I am starting to sell, so stay tuned for that. Meantime, I want to tell you about what is coming up this fall. So, in the spring, I tried a lot of new things in the spring, and I tried 2 or 3 different show names. I bounced the format around. I did an interview. I shared tips for visiting County Mayo. I linked the podcast more tightly to my newsletter. I even shared a countdown of Celtic music favorites from 2022. And of course, I still had all the stories behind my songs. But it felt like I didn't have a direction, and to a large degree, I don't know if I did. As always, I love having this podcast and an opportunity to talk about what's new and promote what's coming up. And I love sharing stories about sustainability and how to protect our planet. It's something that's really close to my heart right now, especially because I have kids, and I want to see a planet that's going to last a long time for their sake. And so I want to, there's all these things that I've learned, and I want to help educate people about them. But it's not my strong suit. It's not the thing that I know the best. So I'm learning and sharing as I learn. I should point that out. But I also love sharing stories from my travels, and I have been enjoying interviewing people. And of course, I just went to Ireland, and so I'm really excited to share some of that. I also know that I don't have a ton of time for this podcast, especially because I have the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, which is my main show. It's the one I promote, and it's tough promoting multiple shows. I find far too often, I go to a convention or a show or whatever, and I promote the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. You want to listen to some Celtic music? Go check it out. I have a whole radio show of it. But this show is a little bit harder to promote, partially because I feel like it's all over the place, but also because this podcast serves a very special audience. You, the gun runners who enjoy my music. So the show will continue in a very similar fashion, without the constant show name changes. Whether Pub Songs and Stories is a misnomer or a reflection of my love and appreciation of public house music, folk music for the people, it's going to continue basically in a similar fashion. I have like a list of about 40 things that I want to talk about, which includes things about sustainability, climate change, stories from my recent trip to Ireland, making better choices for your community, staying healthy with exercise, looking to the future to make things better. And of course, I'll share stories behind each of the songs I write or have written or that I play. Plus, I still want to highlight my fellow Celtic musicians, musicians, Celtic or otherwise, because that's really what I do. Now, if you heard the last episode, it was a very short episode. It was going to be just a minute-long episode, and I thought, you know what? I can just stitch together some songs in there and put up a show really quick, which is exactly what I did. And I might end up doing more of those in the fall as well. A little bit more happenstance if I need to put out something. I don't really want to spend many of these big shows. I don't want them to be the ones that have the stories behind them. I don't want them to go on and on. I want them to be concise and fit a particular theme and such. I want them to be evergreen per se, but sometimes that's not the way things work. Sometimes I have an upcoming show, and so I'm thinking what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pre-record some episodes, and then other episodes I'm just going to wing, and we'll see how it comes together. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited about seeing the way things go in the coming months, so stay tuned for all of that. In the meantime, I'm going to share with you a funny track from the band Fire in the Glen. They were on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. In fact, Rod hosted show number 611 of the podcast. He was also in the Star of the County Down episode of this podcast. It was an honor to have him on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, but it's wonderful that they finally have an album, Fire in the Glen. They finally have an album that I can play for you right now. And this is a funny song called From Amish to Irish. It's from their album, Cutting Bracken.
I once was a farmer in Amish country, but clothes without buttons don't satisfy me. Bright colours and style are the things that I need, so I'll trade my flat hat for some Donegal tweed. I hoe my fields daily, I pray to the Lord, but we've had no excitement since Harrison Ford. I need some adventure, something I've never tried, and I don't mean no thrill in Dutch Wonderland ride. I'm a farmer, I'm a thief, I'm a dairyman too, but I don't drink no milk now that harp is my brew. I've traded my buggy for a shamrock green car. From Amish to Irish is not very far. I'm sick of the tourists who gawk, laugh and point, and call me my posse, bucolic and quaint. I'll take to the highway and rob them all blind. If I'm home for the harvest, then the missus won't mind. I waylay the tourists from Blue Ball to Gap. I pose for their pictures, but it's really a trap. I'm no longer Amish, I'm a thief in a kilt. But stop by the market and I'll sell you a quilt. I'm a farmer, I'm a thief, I'm a dairyman too, but I don't drink no milk now that harp is my brew. I've traded my buggy for a shamrock green car. From Amish to Irish is not very far. There's lots of armed bandits, but me, I'm not one. My froth says I'm Dublic, I'd fumble my gun. But I'm harsh with a horseshoe, I crack a mean whip. So hand over your cup cheese, don't give me no lip. Cup cheese, yeah. I plunder the market, I rob roadside stands, I rule Lincoln Highway and roam the farmlands. I stay off the water, I won't go to sea. Those Susquehanna pirates just terrify me. I'm a farmer, I'm a thief, I'm a dairyman too, but I don't drink no milk now that harp is my brew. I've traded my buggy for a shamrock green car. From Amish to Irish is not very far. So keep all your schnitzel, forget your shoe fly. I'd rather eat haggis and Guinness steak pie. I won't hang no hex sign, I prefer Celtic knots, leprechauns, jigging, and Jameson shots. My conscience don't vex me when I stop and take stock, as long as I'm sleeping by 7 o'clock. I smile as I slumber, my future looks bright, so I'll tuck up my quilt and I'm out in the light. I'm a farmer, I'm a thief, I'm a dairyman too, but I don't drink no milk now that harp is my brew. I've traded my buggy for a shamrock green car. From Amish to Irish is not very far.
Join the club. The show is brought to you by my Gunrunners on Patreon. If you enjoy this podcast or my music, please join the Gunrunners Club. You will access scores of podcasts, download dozens of songs and sheet music, plus you will get weekly access to my Coffee with the Celtfather video concerts, and this show returns on Wednesday, August 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern. So Stay tuned for that. Sign up for as little as $5 per month, and you can also save 15% with an annual membership. And a big thanks to my newest gun runners on Patreon, or some of them aren't actually new. They've been on it for a while, but I think they renewed their membership or new credit cards or something, but they came back up, so I want to send out a big thanks to DWS, Melissa Randall, A. Lynch, Tracy Gerard Turner, Michelle Hahn, Lisa, David Willer, Joe Navarre, Tracy O'Shea, Antoinette Bignon, John Dowling, and Kate Smith. Thank you all so much for supporting my music. I really appreciate it. The best way to support my music and this podcast is by becoming a patron on Patreon. You can go to marcgunn.net. That'll take you right over to my Patreon page, marcgunn.net. All right, so this is a live show I recorded from the Maggie McGuinness Pub in Huntsville, Alabama. This is, of course, not a pub, as I've talked about in the past on this podcast. Maggie McGuinness Pub is a basement. This family, they took their basement and they converted it into a traditional Irish pub, and it's all about a community. It's about families gathering and, in this case, listening to music. Sometimes they just hang out, drink some beer and such, but mostly it's about the community, and it's what I love about what they've done here. It's a beautiful thing. And then, of course, every now and then they host a concert, and I've lost track how many years I've been performing at the Maggie McGuinness Pub. I'm not sure if it shows up in the intro or not, but I've been doing it a long time. So this is one of the episodes. I don't know if I finished. I think I forgot to record the first song on there, which might have had the intro by Michael, but that's okay. It's still a lot of fun. You can get a taste of what to expect from this little pub. Enjoy. Thank you so much. I should point out that this is not a... I did this pub... actually, I played in Salerno, Italy once. I played... It was an old a monastery that was converted into a youth hostel. And I got hired... I was trying to go do some tours in Italy, and I was like, I'm going to see if I can get this. And so I ended up playing in this place. And these Italians were all sitting there. And I can speak Italian, so I'm telling jokes, having fun, trying to tell the stories behind some of the songs. And I thought I spoke Italian. But they all sat there quietly. I'm like, man, I finished the show. I was like, man, that bombed. That was just the worst. And then they're all coming up, oh, molto bene, they love the show, but that's what the Italians do. So this is not that. We are not Italian here. So there's a lot in the Celtic community. It's all about singing along. So I'm going to need your help to sing along and shout along and certain things. But first I want to teach you, for those who don't know, the great Irish phrase, Slainte Mhaith. Slainte Mhaith means, here's to your good health. When you say it, you raise your glass and say, Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! There we go. That's going to make it really easy when we start singing it. So when I sing Slainte Mhaith, you can shout it back to me. So we're going to go like this. Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! I'm going to get the right key, too. Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Here's to your good health, one and all. If your soul feels thirsty, you hear the crate that calls. Raise up your glass, sing Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! You can raise up that glass. But I think we can do it better. I need you to shout it like you've been doing this for the past 2 years. And Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! There we go. Here's to your good health, one and all. If your soul is thirsty, you hear the crate that call. Raise up your glass, sing Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Many times in my life, I forgot the kindness code. I reap the sorry seeds that I sowed. But when I gave instead of took, that's when my spirit grew. My charity turned into liquid gold. Then we sing, Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Here's to your good health, one and all. If your soul is thirsty, and you hear the crate that call, raise up your glass and Slainte Mhaith! Slainte Mhaith! Now this song is more than just a drinking song. It's also what I like to call Celtic karma, as you'll find out in this next verse. Your work week was a bear, your feeling McGuinness to watch a show. And the singer makes you smile, and the music makes you glow. So buy a CD or 20 before you go. Slainte Mhaith. Hey, here's to your good health, one and all. If you're sober and thirsty, you hear the crate the call. Raise up your glass and Slainte Mhaith. Here's to your good health, one and all. If you're sober and thirsty, you hear the crate the call. Raise up your glass, sing Slainte Mhaith. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think we're gonna do some. We need to do another good singer shout along. I like those. This is a song that I wrote many years back. It's a song that was inspired by some events, happening. I was walking through the streets of Birmingham, and I wearing my kilt, and I heard someone shout across the way, "Nice skirt, dude!" I turn, and there's this guy with his big dumb grin on his face. Next to him is the woman walking next to him, and she's doing this. What is it about the kilt that people love so much? Well, I had to write a song about it. So. I am a young Scotsman from America. The kilt's my pleasure, it's true. You can call it a skirt, but your lady will flirt. If she has a chance, she'll leave you. That's why I'm kilted. Kilted. The mystery of what's under there. Yes, you're kilted. Kilted. Inspectors will beg to know your third leg is as free as the fresh morning air. I have no red hair, my skin isn't fair. It does nothing to show off my pride. But my Scotch family tree I wear on me, and it makes ladies giggle inside. That's why I'm kilted. Kilted. The mystery of what's under there. Yes, you're kilted. Kilted. Inspectors will beg to know your third leg is as free as the fresh morning air. I feel like a man, both noble and strong, when I dance my kilt swishes in time. But I must confess, to the ladies I dress, and in dress too. Is that a crime? When you're kilted. Kilted. With the mystery of what's under there. Yes, you're kilted. Kilted. Inspectors will beg to know your third leg is as free as the fresh morning air. So don your kilt, my good Scottish friend, and let your flag blow and unwind. If they ask beneath your kilted sheath, tell them it's your shoes they'll find. When you're kilted. Kilted. The mystery of what's under there. Yes, you're kilted. Kilted. Inspectors will beg to know your third leg is as free as the fresh morning air. Yes, you're kilted. Kilted. With the mystery of what's under there. Yes, you're kilted. Kilted. Inspectors will beg to know your third leg is as free as the fresh morning air. All right, this is a good sing-along. This is a song, when I first started playing this song, a Mingulay boat song, I loved how it came out. But I originally did it with my friend Jamie Hauser, who we actually have a CD together.
Yes.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. When I say I have CDs, you say, you have CDs? The leap at the end really makes it, I'm just saying. Leap into the lap of the person next to you. It makes it more fun. But I put it out on Scottish Songs of Drinking and Rebellion. But I had done it with my friend, who we did an album called How America Saved Irish Music, which is now. It's this one right here. Here it is. How convenient. But we'd sat down. We were doing this jam session in their house in north of New Orleans, and we're having this wonderful jam session. And my friend, she's Irish to the core. She wrote a couple amazing songs called "Men in New Basin Canal" and Bridget's
song, I think it is.
Yeah, a Bridget's prayer. Prayer?
Sure.
I think so. She wrote these beautiful songs, and I wanted to. We were sitting around playing the songs, and she also lived in New Orleans her entire life, right? So all of a sudden she started doing this gospel-y thing, and I was like, oh. And I ended up recording something similar, and it came off just as well. And now I just have fun with it. The wonderful thing about it is the version on the album is in the key of C, because I couldn't get the notes that I have since been able to get, so I raised it to D just because it's cooler. It goes like this. Let her go, boys. Bring her head around into the weather. Feel your hold, boys. Let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay. What care we though? White dimensions, what care we for? Wind or weather, let her go, boys. Every inch is sailing homeward to Mingulay. Here's your part. Heal your home, boys. Let her go, boys. Bring your head around into the weather. Feel your home, boys. Let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay. Wives are waiting by the pier head for looking seaward from the heather. Pull around, boys, in your anchor ere the sun sets on Mingulay. Heal your whole, boys. Let her go, boys. Bring her head around into the weather. Heal your whole, boys. Let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay. Ships return now, heavy laden, all mothers holding bairns crying. They'll return though when the sun sets. They'll return then to Mingulay. Heal your whole, boys. Let her go, boys. Bring her head around into the weather. Heal your whole, boys. Let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay. Heal your whole, boys. Let her go, boys. Bring her head around into the weather. Heal your whole, boys. Let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay.
That's the song I was waiting for. Pour some blues on it, brother.
All right. Now I'm going to give my voice a little rest. I'm going to sing and I know I don't want to put the kids to sleep or anything. I'm going to sing a lullaby. This is for you, King. It's a very sweet lullaby. The song is written by Daniel Glasser. He wrote this very, very sweet lullaby, and it is called "Close Your Eyes." Stop laughing. He wrote this song called "Close Your Eyes," and so if you'd like to relax and close your eyes for just a moment, feel free to do this now. Close your eyes and sleep. There are demons in your dreams. Go to sleep, my darling. There's a demon underneath your bed. The demons in your bed are gonna eat you up. Stay in your bed. There are landmines on the floor. The demons in your bed are gonna eat you up. Sugar and spice and everything nice. Why do you think we say that? It's so the demons underneath your bed will want to eat you up. You used to have a sister. She wouldn't go to sleep. So the demons underneath her bed ate her up. I like to sing this to my daughters. My oldest one, she falls asleep every time. We were at a Renaissance festival, and I started singing the song, and she was out in like 5 minutes. I'm going to do a slight variation on the usual song, because I parodied this parody. My youngest daughter, she likes the song too. And, well, I'll explain in just a second. Do not call for your mother. Who is it that you think who let the Reavers in? To eat your face. So if you don't know what a Reaver is, you will. Just think demon. It is from the TV show Firefly. I have a couple other songs. So when my youngest daughter hears this song, she very lovingly goes, "Eat your face!" Snakes and snails and puppy dog tails. Who can account for the taste of Reavers? The Reavers in your bed are gonna eat your face. Baby, don't you cry, or the Reavers won't wait till you fall asleep to eat your face. My father sang this song to me, but he slipped and he fell on a landmine. And the Reavers underneath my bed ate his face. That is not a blanket. Good night. Thank God.
glad you waited for the Kings to come.
Yeah. This is a good time also to point out, remember those CDs?
You have CDs?
They go to pay for my daughter's therapy right now. So, already I feel like we're on that path. I do want to point out actually something while I'm mentioning those CDs.
You have CDs?
I have more than just CDs.
You have CDs?
Also, some people, I don't know about you, but I don't actually listen to those items. Round items. You know CDs?
Yeah, CDs?
Actually, I don't listen to
USBs?
Yes, I have USBs. But I also started to something new, which is called album pins. Album pins are basically lapel pins with a digital album attached. You can download it through my Bandcamp store. So you can basically wear your album on your sleeve. I'm just saying. So, and there's some other things up here. I have some shirts, some Celtic heartstrings. They are necklaces made from the broken strings of my heart. Auto harp. And then something new that I'm just trying out, just because if nothing else, like 2 weekends ago, I came up with the title for this. So I don't know about you, but I'm trying to cut back on how much plastic I use in the world. Just better for the environment and such. So I was sitting there thinking, the other day we went to a store and we ended up getting some plastic utensils, and I was like, I got this plastic, more plastic. I don't want to do that. Well, what if I start making little bags that can hold silverware or travel cutlery? That's like brand new. I just came up with that. I really like that line. I'm like, I'm totally using more on this just for that title. I don't care if anyone buys them. I'm just saying it. So if you want those, come talk to me. So I do have a brand new album. It is called Celtfather. Celtfather means when everything is strange and different, yet you find it marvelous anyway. Sort of like wearing a skirt while playing an auto harp down in the middle of an Irish pub in someone's home. It seemed very appropriate because of a lot of the songs that I do. Someone actually recently, I don't know if you've seen that title, but someone came up with the term sci-fi-ish. Yeah, that's what I said, because I do this fusion of Irish and science fiction and fantasy and such. I was like, that is brilliant. I mean, and I pride myself in my marketing skills, and I didn't come up with that. I'm heartbroken about that part. But. So I'm going to do a song from the new album. It is called A Bright Side of Everything. It was inspired by an episode of Firefly when I don't remember the name of the episode, but basically they are Simon and Kaylee, the doctor, and the mechanic. They're sitting there looking at this supposedly alien species that they found out in space, and they don't have aliens as far as we know in the Firefly universe. So they're staring at this thing, and the doctor, who's Mr. Scientist, says, "Yep, it's a cow fetus. It's deformed, and it's hanging upside down." It's like, really? And well, she looks beautiful, little Bessie there, and says Kaylee, and it's one of those moments where it's like, he says, "You just see the bright side of every little thing, don't you?" And I was like, what a great idea for a song. So I sat down and I ended up writing a similar song, which takes an interesting turn. Came along and made her sing. She's not posing anymore, she's dancing. You see the bright side of everything. Romantic walk along the sandy shore. The sky opens and it starts raining. You jump in puddles, we both start laughing. You see the bright side of everything. Someplace better, someplace warm, someplace alone, just you and me. We can laugh at life's uncertainty while it's happening. The bright side of everything. Gravity may make us fall. Our stomachs feel like they're turning. You say falling is a lot like flying. You see the bright side of everything. Someplace better, someplace warm. Someplace unknown, just you and me. We can laugh at life's uncertainty while it's happening. The bright side of everything. Night is falling, it is getting dark. You hold my hand like you hold my heart. Inside of me I feel torn apart, but you see the bright side of everything. Someplace better, someplace warm. Someplace known, just you and me. We can laugh at life's uncertainty while it's happening. The bright side of everything. Gone and it's hard to breathe. I think of you as you used to be. If you were here then you'd say to me, sweet baby, please see the bright side of everything. All right, so on that same thing, so I do, like I said, I do have a Firefly CD.
You have CDs?
Two, or now sort of three, 2.5. This song is inspired by Malcolm Reynolds, who, like many, when I write songs, I like to write songs about, you know, real things, even if it's like even fantasy universe. And Malcolm has this thing where he has trouble expressing himself emotionally. And I can relate to having trouble expressing myself. So I wanted to write a song for all of us who have trouble. Yeah, that. It goes like this. She's shiny, oh so shiny. Say a word, I'm in love with that girl. That's your part. Yeah, she's shiny. Oh, so shiny. She keeps spinning around and around in the world. Dressed up for a fancy ball in the dark of night. I'm gonna pull my punches to the love. Before I knew things got out of control, I set my sights on making it out whole. 'Cause she's shiny, oh so shiny. I don't say a word, I'm in love with that girl. Yeah, she's shiny. Oh, so shiny. She keeps spinning around and around in the world. Carrying the weight of heartache from her past. Running toward a future that won't last. What a beaut, that girl makes my heart soar. She lights the night like a brightly shining star. 'Cause she's shiny, oh so shiny. I don't say a word, I'm in love with that girl. Yeah, she's shiny, oh so shiny. She keeps spinning around and around in a world. Sometimes she doesn't like the way she's shiny. Oh, oh, so shiny. Don't say a word, I'm in love with that girl. Yeah, she's shiny. Oh, 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 so shiny. She keeps spinning around and around in a whirl. Found her in a down and up dirty place. Head down, a feeling of disgrace. And I saw hope in her eyes. I knew right then that firefly would fly. 'Cause she's shiny. Oh, 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 so shiny. I don't say a word, I'm in love with that girl. Yeah, she's shiny. Oh, 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 so shiny. Keep spinning around and round in a world. Yeah, she's shiny. Oh, oh, so shiny. I don't say a word, I'm in love with that girl. All right. It's so much fun playing for you. I love playing amplified and such, but when you have a nice room like this where people can, I think everyone can hear fine, but I hear sounds really well here. It makes me happy. So thank you. This is a song also from the new album. It is a song inspired by the episode Out of Gas. But it's more than just that. In the episode, basically the ship has no air. There's an explosion and it takes out all the air in the ship and whatever's left in there. So they have to everyone has to leave and such. And so I want to write a song that's basically about when you're struggling, when the world is throwing you, I don't know, a pandemic or something. When you basically have to take a step back and just keep breathing. Which turned to be very appropriate considering when I wrote the song and then what happened. So it has some parts for you. My hand over here will be pointing towards those very parts. I would teach you those right now, but I'm not sure if I can remember. Don't ya? Won't ya? And there's a third one.
It's a good third one, too.
Yes.
The secret. The best.
So you'll have to wait for it.
But you're gonna enjoy
I
it.
totally know what it is. So when I sing these things, I'm gonna point. You're gonna do the don't you, won't you, and something else. It goes like this. You wanna keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out. Remember the reason, won't you? The reason you take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. But all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. That's it. It all began looking past what was to what our life could be. That's where I found so much freedom and a little serenity. An explosion knocked us to the ground, but we got back on our feet. Turned back the clock to remember why and what our life could be. You wanna keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out. Remember the reason, won't you? The reason to take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. Life challenges with a little bit of prayer. Others turn, face it head on, that's how they take in air. Sometimes it's sad to face what's true and try a different tack. You gotta keep on breathing, there ain't no turning back. You wanna keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out, gotta remember the reason, won't you? The reason you take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. But it all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. I'll fight it on through space, or why I might fail. I'll boost the signal through the night, even if I'm feeling frail. When at last you answer my call, we'll fix our damaged hearts. Together we'll keep on breathing, and we will never part. You wanna keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out, remember the reason, won't you? The reason to take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. Oh, it all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. All right. I should go. I do have a new. I wrote a couple songs a long time ago, which I ended up naming on a couple albums. It's called Irish Drinking Songs for Cat Lovers.
Giant cats upstairs.
It's a pet project of mine.
Giant cats. Giant
Thank you, Moon. Thank you. I live for the groans. Thank you. I will keep doing it as long as people keep groaning. So I put out this album many years ago. I put out an album called Irish Drinking Songs for Cat Lovers. I followed it up with Whiskers in the Jar. The sea shanties for cat lovers never came out. Maybe one day. I don't know. I mean, I've been playing music with my youngest daughter recently, teaching her sing, helping her sing and write and play the guitar. It's been just really good, and it just occurred to me. So I'm going to do this. I'm doing a St. Patrick's Day show at her school, and as I was thinking about what songs to do, I was like, well, we have some songs we can practice, and I guess I have to learn Wellerman now, so because every kid will know Wellerman. I don't know it, but which means that I can write a parody for Wellerman, a cat parody of Wellerman, and then I have another song of sea shanties for cat. We'll see what happens. All right. Speaking of which, this is from Celtic. You heard the original earlier. I don't know about you, but did anyone here when they were younger listen to a Weird Al album and then say, I need to know what the original song was? Yeah. I made a cassette that had original parody, so I could I was like, what is the original? And so I did that with quite a few songs.
Those weren't original songs.
Some ruined my old childhood. Some of the funniest ones actually were, and I was like, some of them were just like, oh, you wrote that? That's just really brilliant and messed up. See the glass cats, watch it splash cats. See the liquid roll off of the table. See your human in their socks, cats, as they step in the puddle you made. Little girl holds a full sippy cup, doesn't drink Your paws get sticky on the floor. See the glass cats, watch it flash cats. See the liquid off of the table. See your human in their socks cats as they step in the puddle you made. Humans watching TV distracted, or they leave to use the bathroom. Jump up on the coffee table, they knock the milk down and lick it up. Here we go. See the glass cats, watch it flash cats. See the liquid roll off of the table. See your human in the soft cats as they step in the puddle you made. Ice cold glass of water at bedtime. Set it down not far from your pillow. The town can live at 2 in the morning. So knock it down, then you're satiated. See the glass cats, watch it flash cats. See the liquid roll off of the table. See your human in their socks cats as they step in the puddle you made. What care we if they're done drinking? What we care about is physics and motion. Tap the glass cats, watch it jiggle. If it doesn't tip over, then knock it again. See the glass cats, watch it flash cats. See the liquid roll off of the table. See your human in the socks cats as they step in the puddle you made. All together now. See the glass cats, watch it flash cats. See the liquid roll off of the table. See your human in their socks cats as they step in the puddle you made. You always wondered, now you know. I think I'm going to do some more, have some requests. If you have a request, you can throw out something now, or we can do it a little bit later in the next set.
Black Velvet Band.
Black Velvet Band, you got it.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I did it for you, lady.
You're my Black Velvet Man. As always.
Her eyes shone like diamonds, think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. In a neat little town they called Belfast, a prince in trade I was bound. And many the hours sweet happiness I spent in that neat little town, till a sad misfortune befell me and caused me stray from the land, far away from your friends and relations, to follow the black velvet band. Yes, her eyes had shone like diamonds, to think she was queen of the land. Her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up up with a black velvet band. As I was strolling down Broadway, not intending to go very far, I met with a frolicsome damsel, applying her trade in a bar. Well, a watch she took from a customer, and she slipped it right into my hand. The watch came and put me in prison, bad luck to the black velvet man. Yes, her eyes shone like a diamond, you think she was queen of the land. Her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before judge and jury next morning, the trial I had to appear. And the judge, he said, my young fellow, the case against you was quite clear. Well, 7 long years, your sentence. You're going to Van Diemen's land, far away from your friends and relations, to follow the black velvet land. Yes, her eyes shone like a diamond, I think she was the queen of the land. Her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellows, I'll have you take warning by me. If you're ever out on the liquor mead, boys, wearing the pretty colleen, push fill you with whiskey and porter until you're not able to stand. And the very next thing that you'll know me, lad, is you landed in Van Diemen's land. Yes, her eyes shone like the diamond, I think she was the queen of the land. Her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Yes, her eyes shone like the diamond, you think she was queen of the land. Her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Tied up with a black velvet band. All right, there is a place in Kentucky that, much like Brigadoon, there rises from the mist every 3 years a little village, and it's populated with hobbits and dwarves and elves and golems. And I've learned some valuable lessons by visiting this village, although it was more than 3 years. It was, 5 years this year.
2 years don't count.
Those okay, doesn't okay. Well, it is Brigadoon. I mean, it is the Hobbit version of Brigadoon, so it's okay. You know? But I learned some valuable lessons, and I always like to pass my wisdom that I learned on to you with a great chorus that goes like this. Don't go drinking with hobbits. Sure, you'll have a grand time all night long. But if you go drinking with hobbits, my friends, you may not want to wake up at all. They were thoughtful and kind when they invited me to drink. A lone human among hobbit kind. They bought me a half, then another, and one more, and told stories of days long gone by. Through a strong, my glass never empty, as the time stood still and bare. Well, when I woke the next morning, I felt like old Smaug had been there. Oh, don't go drinking with hobbits. Sure, you'll have a grand time all night long. But if you go drinking with hobbits, my friends, you may not want to wake up at all. You may wonder how it all happened. Well, I'm still wondering what happened too. I had tea, dinner, and supper. Quite full, I thought I was through. But they insisted I come to the flagon and drink to the health of new friends. When I got there, I made more hobbit friends, and the toast seemed never to win. Oh, don't go drinking with hobbits. Sure, you'll have a grand time all night long. But if you go drinking with hobbits, my friends, you may not want to wake up at all. When the sun arose the next morning, and I lifted my head from my drool, there were beer mugs spilled on the tables and hobbits lying next to their stools. one hobbit lass ran across the barroom and nudged each of my new hobbit friends. And then sometime after second breakfast, we all started drinking again. Oh, don't go drinking with hobbits. Sure, you'll have a grand time all night long. But if you go drinking with hobbits, my friends, you may not want to wake up at all. I left Hobbiton a few days later. My head, it was swollen and sore. It felt like a dwarven anvil. After a terrible war, I don't think I'll ever recover from the food, the drink, and the cheer. And I swear I'll never drink with hobbits again. At least till I see them next year. Oh, don't go drinking with hobbits. Sure, you'll have a grand time all night long. But if you go drinking with hobbits, my friends, you may not want to wake up at all. All together now. Don't go drinking with hobbits. Sure, you'll have a grand time all night long. But if you go drinking with hobbits, my friend, you may not want to wake up at all. This is Wild Mountain Time. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to a wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower, my unclear and crystal fountain, and all around the bower I'll pile flowers from the mountains. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to a wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will roam the country o'er, through that dark land so dreary, and all the spoils I find I'll bring to my darling dearie. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to a wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? My true love, she won't come, I will surely find another to a wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to a wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? seagull, and we'll all go together to wild mountain time all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? We go, lassie, go. We go. So I have a mini podcast.
You have a podcast?
I thought about saying a podcast, but I don't. I have like
6.
yes. That sounds about right. So there's the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. If you like Celtic music, you should definitely check that out. But the one I'm talking about right now is the In the Verse Podcast. It's a podcast I do with my friend Mikey Mason. We write songs inspired.
He performed here with you.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Wow. Flashback. There it is. Right. Wow. So we have a podcast together, and we sat down. We were writing songs. The first season was basically just Firefly and that's all we made it through because there's only 14 episodes. So we wrote one song for each episode. Mikey wrote more than one. But we started a new season, and the new season we're writing songs inspired by pop culture in general, things that we love. So did a song on Dungeons and Dragons. I did a song on another Doctor Who song. I wrote another Firefly song, which I can't play yet, but I'll get there. But then the song I'm going to sing for you right now is a song, the title track for the next CD.
You have CDs?
And it is called Come Adventure With Me. It was inspired by the 1977 Rankin and Bass film, The Hobbit. And I wanted to write a song that was about similar. There's that scene at the end of the movie, if you've seen it, where Bilbo is standing down looking into the secret tunnel that goes into the Lonely Mountain where Smaug is, and he's like, what do I do? Do I step forward and do I turn back? I mean, this is it. This is that moment in life. And so I wanted to write a song about the fear, overcoming that fear. But one of the things that I've loved about doing working this podcast with Mikey is that I've pushed myself. And so while I feel like this is a very general song that could be anywhere, it really, if you've seen it or you've read Lord of the Hobbit, then you're going to be like, oh, the entire time. So try not to do that the entire time. Or at least audibly, So, but I love how it came out. So this is a song called Come Adventure With Me. Secret door to a hall unknown. Inside are fears that turn me to stone. Do I step forward or head back home? Which is the path for me? I raise my head and take one step more. The ground it shakes, I look back to the door. Feel like I'm caught and stuck to the floor. So I cut myself free. This world a treasure that is full of strife. Every moment can enrich your life. Just face your dragons with the edge of a knife. It's a better life, you see. Come adventure with me. There are ugly goblins doing scary things. Deep down in dungeons there are magic rings. Live or die with the riddles we bring. You'll find your way through the dark. My precious life has so many memories. Fluttering birds, butterflies in trees. My home is comfort, comfort is a breeze. But there's another way to live. This world a treasure that is full of strife. Every moment can enrich your life. Just face your dragons with the edge of a knife. It's a better life, you see. Come adventure with me. many wars, it's an endless fight. To face our dragons that soar through our night. But I'm no coward, I'll do what is right until I find my way home. Now I'm back with stories that ring, a truth that soars upon eagle wings. Let's not forget the songs the elves sing, oh, the joy that they bring. This world's a treasure that is full of strife. Every moment can enrich your life. Just face your dragons with the edge of a knife. It's a better life to see. This world's a treasure that is full of strife. Every moment can enrich your life. Just face your dragons with the edge of a knife. It's a better life to see. Come adventure with me.
All right. There are Kleenexes behind the bar and also in the pub bathroom.
All right, I'm gonna do one more song and then I'll take a short break so we can,
Buy merchandise. Just saying.
He said it. I was gonna say, chat, but thank you.
Yeah.
This song is there was a terrible period in Irish history. One of many. The one I'm talking about.
There's still 900 years
Let
of
me narrow it down with it. Terrible period in one of the many terrible periods. The English were cutting down the trees, and trees are very important to the Irish. Number one, for religious reasons, the Druids. Number two, for religious reasons, the barrels that make the whiskey. The funny thing about whiskey barrels is that you can only use them about 6 times, and you pretty much have to toss them. So the Irish were, in fact, the first recyclers. In fact, if you look at the national logo of Ireland, the Irish harp, you turn it sideways, you get that green recycle symbol. They came up with this. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, they took these barrels that once held whiskey, poured cider into it, and created a drink called Johnny Jump Up. One day as I went down the sea, the sun was bright and the day was warm. Says I acquired pint, according to me no harm. I went in and I called for a bottle of stout. Says the barman, I'm sorry, all the beer's sold out. Try whiskey or Paddy, 10 years no wood. Said I'll try cider, I heard that it's good. Oh, I'll never again, if I live to be 100 or 110. I fell to the ground and I could not get up, have a drink and a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. So that is your part. Oh, never again. For living me 100, 110. I fell to the ground. I couldn't get up, and the drinking pint Johnny Jump Up. If you don't know the rest of it, just shout, 110. I'll never again. If I live to be 100, 110. I fell to the ground and I could not get up, have a drink and a quart of that Johnny Jump Up. The third, I made straight for the yard. We're boxing and brothing. The big civic guard. Come here, boy. I don't take over the law. When they up with me fist and I shattered his jaw. He fell to the ground with his knees doubled up. Which wasn't I hit. It was the Johnny Jump Up. The next thing I met down in Yard by the sea was a cripple on crutches and says to me, I'm afraid to be like, on the head may hurt. You had me on down to the Celtic bar, counting a pint to that cider so sweet. He turned on his crutches and danced in his feet. Oh, I'll never again. If I live to be 100, 110. I fell to the ground and I could not get up. Had a drink and a curd, getting down fast. When I went up the Lee Road, a friend for the sea, they called the madhouse in court for the lead. And when I got there, show the truth that it tell, they had the poor bugger locked up in a cell. Said the guards testing him, say these words you can. Around the rugged rocks, Ragamasco ran. To him and not crazy, to him and not mad. It was only 6, 7, 12 pints I had. I'll never again. If I live to be 100, 110. I fell Boston, reading about sailing the slab bed after the Carters. I made him a dictate. His wife took him home to a bloody fine wake. About 12 o'clock, the beer was high, and the corpse he set up, and he says to sigh, I can't get to heaven, they won't let me up till I bring them a curd. Johnny jump up, I never again, if I live to be 100, 110. I fell to the ground and I could not get up, had to drink in a curd. Johnny jump up, I never again, if I live to be 100, 110. Fell to the ground and I could not get up. Had to drink in a curd, Johnny jump up. Now I never again. For you to be 100, 110. I fell to the ground and I could not get up. Had to drink in a curd, Johnny jump up. Thanks so much. We're going to take a break. And again, if you have a song request that you want to hear in the next set, let me know. Slainte. I hope you enjoyed that music and performance. Next time, I'm going to share some stories from my Celtic invasion of County Mayo, so make sure you subscribe. And also, please consider posting a review on Apple Podcasts. I'm still hoping to get those 10 new reviews, and I'm about 8 shy. So, go post a review, then drop me an email. Let me know that you've done it. Seriously, it means a lot to me when you post a review of the show. It doesn't actually affect your rankings or anything, but it does help others know if they should subscribe as well. And if you can't support me financially, you can always leave a free review, which is just a wonderful way to support me. Or you can do both. Even better. Woo! Anyways, thank you so much for listening to Pub Songs and Stories. The show is brought to you by my gun runners on Patreon. Every week you'll get a new podcast, song, video, or video concert. You'll save 25% off all the merch in my store. The show is edited by Mitchell Peterson with graphics by Miranda Nelson Designs. You can subscribe and listen to the show wherever you find podcasts. Sign up to my mailing list to read the show notes for this episode and find out where I'm performing. And of course, please tell one friend about this podcast. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to support any creative endeavor. Have fun and sing along at pubsong.com.